Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm April, the Wolf Ranch Girl. Hey everybody, welcome back to the second video in the remote education or remote classroom series. And today what we're going to be talking about is web-based communication and storage options. Please excuse me, I just got some dental work done and my mouth is not completely unnumb yet, but nobody is at my house and this would be the perfect time to record a video. So this is real life, guys, and I got to take my time where I can. So I'm going to be doing this with a partially numb mouth. So yay. I'm going to have a couple of my helpers pop in and answer some questions that people in general might have. So let's go check them out. Okay, so my kids are back and they're going to help us out talking about Google Drive. Okay, so what is Google Drive?
Google Drive is where you store like your con your messages and stuff.
Okay, Walker.
It's where you store Google Docs, Google Slides, and stuff like that.
Can you touch it? Can you touch Google Drive?
No.
Where is it stored?
In the cloud.
Right, in the cloud, which just means on the
Internet.
Well, they are super cute and I love that they wanted to help with the filming. So I hope that you guys can appreciate that too. So what is the big deal about Google or about web-based productivity apps in general? Well, the simple answer is they're crazy amazing. So technology in general is pretty amazing. I mean, air conditioning, not having to churn our own butter, email versus snail mail, Amazon drones and distribution centers. Like all of those things are amazing, right? Like me being able to bring you this content is amazing. But web-based communication and storage options or the cloud make what I call Teachnology possible. So Teachnology is being able to deliver content to any audience seamlessly across any device. And web-based options allow that to happen for us. So let's just say that I need to take a picture and then I need to get it to my students on Classroom, okay? So in previous years, what I would have had to do is I would have had to gotten a camera, taken a picture of whatever it is that I needed to share, print it or take it and have it printed, and then I'd have to scan it using a scanner, and then I'd have to email it to my students if they had their own individual email accounts. And the web-based storage options and web-based communication have changed all of that. We can now move seamlessly from our phones to a tablet, to a Chromebook, to a PC, which is what I'm using to record this video right now. So now if I wanted to take a picture of a set of notes like this, okay, and get it to my students, I could do that in less than 5 minutes. All I would have to do is take a picture with my phone and then upload it to Google Classroom from my phone, and then it's right there for my students. If I wanted to do a video, then I could record the video on my phone or on whatever device, save it to my Google Drive, which is an online storage device, and then from Google Drive, upload it to Google Classroom. So it's made everything so much easier, and it's our jobs as educators, as parents, and as students. And this is what I tell my students in the classroom. It's our job and our responsibility to seek out understanding the technology so that we can move seamlessly from device to device to device to accomplish whatever task it is that we're trying to accomplish. Not only does that make our lives more productive and our lives easier, but it makes us a more desirable employee. It helps us to be more marketable in what we can do with our skills. It doesn't matter if you are a mechanic or if you are a plumber or if you have a PhD in something. You've got to be able to communicate over different venues, over different devices, to be able to complete your tasks in your field. And that is what Teachnology is about. And that is what we're going to be looking at today. I have a feeling like people are going to walk in at any point in time and I'm going to have to start this all over again. So let's see if I can get through this before my silence is marred by people coming into my house. Okay, so the things that we're going to look at today in this video are web-based storage areas and then also content delivery systems. So they work hand in hand with each other, but they are two separate components. So if you have a cell phone, then you are already using some sort of cloud or web-based storage system. So if you're an iPhone user, which I'm not, iPhone users use iCloud. So that's where you store your music, that's where you store your photos, and then it's stored there so that when you move to your next iPhone, you don't have to spend 6 hours connecting your actual devices together and transferring data. Everything is stored online. You put in your username, you put in your password, and then all of that content that is stored on the cloud or in the iCloud storage area is then moved to your phone. You have access to it. If you are an Android user, then you most likely have a Gmail account and you're using Google Drive. So like I said, I'm not an iUser. iCloud is attached to iTunes, which is not a communication or productivity system the way that Gmail is. So I'm not exactly sure how that works. I don't know if you have an email and that's how you communicate, or a calendar or anything like that. So that'll have to be a different video, and if I can find one, then I will link it above for iProductivity. So what we're going to be looking at, because most schools are utilizing Google, is we're going to be focusing on Google. Okay, so I have an Android phone. And in this video, we are going to be utilizing my personal Gmail account. So I have a school account that is issued to me by my school, and then I have a Google Drive that is for my South Fork Schools account. And then I have my Gmail account, .gmail, and I have my own drive. So anybody that has a Gmail account, we talked about that in the last video where we talked about the differences between Chromebooks and computers. And if you haven't seen that, then I'll link that somewhere above also. So if you have an Android device, then most likely you're using a Gmail account. And your Gmail account is not just for email. Your Gmail account opens an entire productivity suite to you. So you have the Gmail, which is your email, okay? And then you have the calendar. And then you have the Drive, which is your web-based storage area. And then you have all of the productivity apps and Classroom and Google Photos and YouTube. So if you have a Gmail account, you actually have your own YouTube channel. Did you guys know that? It is true. Okay, so let's talk about, I touched on the productivity suite. That is Google Docs and Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Draw, very similar to Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office is a more in-depth set of programs that have more sophisticated tools and features available to them. But for most users, Google Docs or the Google Productivity Suite is going to suffice, and it's free. With that being said, Microsoft, after Google made Google Drive and all of the Google productivity apps available to users with Gmail accounts, Microsoft created what is called OneDrive and Office 365. So that is the web-based version of Microsoft Office and a associated web-based storage. So we're not going to get into all of that. That could be a whole separate video. You can email me or you can ask me questions in the comments and I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and refocus ourselves back to Google. So with your Gmail account, you have access to many different things, but we are going to focus on Google Drive, and then we are going to focus on Google Classroom as our content delivery systems. So just a little bit of background of why your online storage device is called the cloud. It's just because it's a storage area that you can't see. So when you're sitting on a computer and you're saving something to your hard drive, you know right where that hard drive is. It's sitting right in front of you in your machine. And with web-based storage, you don't really actually know where your content is. It's just accessible to you in a secured location, but you don't actually know where that storage is taking place, and that's why they call it in the cloud. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to log in to my Gmail account from 4 different devices. So we are going to log in from my computer, which is a PC, personal computer. I'm running Windows. It's going to work very similar if you're running a Mac because we're accessing the internet. So I'm going to walk you through that, how I log into my actual Gmail account, and then how I can access my Drive and how I can access Google Classroom from the PC. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing from a Chromebook, from an Android phone, and from a Kindle Fire, so that you guys can see that across these devices, I have access to all of my same content and all of my classroom delivery options as a teacher and as a parent and as a student. All you have to do is know your Gmail credentials. So if you are a parent, then all you have to do is ask your student's teacher to either add you to their classroom, or you just need your student's credentials from their school to be able to log in. So let me give you an example. My son's initials are CLC. So let's just say that he was one of my students in a private classroom. My dogs are barking and people are here. I told you that people were coming. So if I assigned him a Gmail account and then added him to my classroom, he would just need to get onto a computer, type in clc@gmail.com, put in his password, and then he's going to see his email and he's going to have access to all of everything, his Drive, his classroom, everything, okay? And when he logs on from a phone, it's going to be the same way. All you need is your username and your password to be able to access your accounts, okay? So we are in screen capture mode, and I'm going to take you guys through accessing my Gmail, the productivity applications, my Drive, and Classroom through my wolfranchgirl@gmail.com account. And then after that, we will move from the PC to a Chromebook and do exactly the same thing. And then from my phone and do exactly the same thing. And then from my Amazon Fire tablet. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I have logged into my personal computer, which is an HP Envy laptop, and I have made sure that my internet access is on. And so now what I'm going to do is just click on Google Chrome down at the bottom taskbar. That is going to open up the Google web browser. And since I'm already logged in, and I'm looking at google.com, If you look in the address bar, you can see that. I'm at google.com. I've got my search screen if I wanted to search something. And then if you look up in the upper right-hand corner, my mouse is a little sticky, so forgive the jumpiness of it. You can see that I am already logged in. Okay, so I actually have 3 different accounts. So I have my personal account, I have my school account, and then I have my channel account. And because I don't have anything stored in my channel account, and you will easily be able to recognize whatever we create, I'm going to use my channel account today. But it doesn't matter what account you use, as long as it is a Google account. And you can see that my personal account and my channel account both end with @gmail.com, but my school account ends with @southforkschools.com. And that is because our school has its own domain through Google, but it is still a Google account. Okay, so I'm going to switch profiles over to my Wolf Ranch Girl account, and then I'm going to click on Gmail. Once it loads, that is going to take me into my Gmail account. So here I have an inbox, here I have a sent items, here I have a draft. If I click on more, then that is going to take me to more. So let me get out of here. Okay. And it is reloading. So if I want to compose an email, I can just click on compose, and then that's going to bring up an email, and I'm going to send it just as I would an email, okay? Or any other kind of email. From here, I can either open up another tab, and I can type in drive.google.com and then have to log in again, but that's super silly to open up separate tabs for everything that you want to do, because once you're logged in, you have access to all of your productivity right here in this icon, which is the Google Apps icon, and they used to call it the waffle. I still call it that, so I'm not sure if everybody calls it that or not. Once you're logged in, and you can see your profile picture, and then you can see the waffle right next to that, you don't have to go into Gmail. You can click on this waffle or the Google Apps button, and that is going to show you everything that you have access to through your Gmail account. Okay, now teachers, if you're logged in via school, it might look a little bit different because you may have Meets instead of Duo, which I have Meet right here as well. The difference for an educator or an administrator is that anybody can join a Meet, but only a certain level of account can create a Meet. But just a general, and a Meet is an online conference, a video conferencing tool, just a general Gmail account holder would use Duo for that. Okay, so in your waffle or Google Apps button, this is where you have access to everything. Okay, so you just scroll up and down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Drive, which is the web-based storage system through Google. And you can see I have nothing in here. This is a brand new account that I created specifically for training purposes, and that's why there is nothing in here, okay? So if you look over to the left side, you have an option to create a new file. You have My Drive. You have anything that someone has shared with you. You have a recents option, a starred option, which means that you can star something to make it so that it's important. And then you also have a trash option. Now with Google, anybody that has a Gmail account has 15 gigabytes of free storage. Now if you need above and beyond that, you can purchase it, but you get 15 gigabytes free. So from Drive, we're going to go ahead and create a Google slide that just says hello, and just so that I can have something in the drive so that when we move from device to device to device, you can see that we're accessing in the same drive, okay? So I'm going to click on New, and then I'm going to go to Google Slide. And when I click on that, it's going to take me into the Google Slides application. Now this looks very, very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. Very, very similar, and that's fine. What you need to know about creating any kind of a file using any kind of the Google Productivity Suites is that you don't have a save button. Every click and every keystroke that you do is automatically saved to your drive. The one thing you do need to do is make sure that you go to the upper left hand corner and give this a file name. So I'm just going to call this Training Hello. Okay. So remember that name because we're going to be referencing this as we move through all of these different access points. So I'm going to click in the heading and I'm going to type hello and then friends. Okay. And that is all I'm going to do. There's no save button. There's no print button. Well, there is a print button, but there's nothing that I have to do. I'm just going to go ahead and click close. Up here at the top, you can see Training Hello in Google Slides. It has an X. I'm going to close it. So now I'm looking back at Google Drive. So if you look up at the top of your screen, you can see I have a tab for my inbox, which is my Gmail account, okay, for my email. And then my second tab is the Google Drive. Now, just a second ago, my Google Drive was completely empty, but now you can see that I have a slide that says Training Hello. Okay. That I now have a file in my drive, and what I'm going to do just for the sake of doing things in a consistent manner is I'm going to go ahead and close my drive tab, which is going to take me back out to my Gmail inbox. Now I'm going to show you Classroom. So I have created a classroom called Google is Awesome, and I am the teacher of that classroom. But generally, the classroom environment is going to look the same for a student and for a teacher. The teacher's just going to have some different allowances. So since I'm not actually showing you how to utilize a class in this video, I'm just showing you how to access Classroom. It's not going to matter that I'm the teacher or that I'm a student. All that matters is that we can access and that you can see that classroom no matter what device I'm on, okay? So from the Gmail account, I'm just going to go ahead and go back over to the Google Apps or the waffle button, and then I'm going to scroll down. Now, initially, you're not going to see Classroom in anything that's showing up at the top, so you just have to scroll down, and then you're just looking for a Blackboard, and it says Classroom. You're going to click on that, and it is automatically going to take you to your classroom dashboard, and it's going to show you any classroom that you are a part of or that you are a teacher for. Now keep this in mind, you guys. I am doing this from a private account, from a personal Gmail account, so I can create my own classroom and teach anybody anything. I don't have to be a part of a school or a part of an organization to have a Google Classroom. This is available for everybody that has a Gmail account, okay? So right now, from this account that I have, my Wolf Ranch Girl account, I have one Google Classroom in my classroom dashboard, and that is the Google is Awesome class. The web-based communication and storage. Okay, so to look at my classroom, I just click, and then that's going to take me into my Google Classroom. All right, so what you have here is your class dashboard, and this banner across the top is completely customizable. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here. This stream works very similarly to Facebook. Then you also have a classwork tab. You also have a people tab, and if you're a teacher, you're going to have a grades tab. Okay, we're not going to go into all of this because I'll do a separate tutorial for this. But that is how you access your classroom. So now I'm going to stop here and I'm going to get onto a Chromebook and take you through the same process of accessing Google Drive and Google Classroom, but now instead of being from my PC, we're going to do it from a Chromebook. So here we are, and we are on one of our household Chromebooks. So this is not a school-issued Chromebook. This is one of my kids' private Chromebooks. But it doesn't matter. A Chromebook is a Chromebook is a Chromebook. So you can see that I have my, I've logged on to this before with my school account. One of our, two of our kids have logged on, and then I've logged on with my my other personal Gmail account, and now I'm going to log into this with my Wolf Ranch Girl account. So I have that listed here, wolfranchgirl@gmail.com, and then I have to put in my password. So it is imperative that you know your email account, the correct email account, and then your password for whatever account you're trying to access, okay? So now we can see up in the corner, and I'm going to use my little pointer here. Up in the corner, I have the same profile picture that I had when I was logged on to the PC, because this is the same account, okay? So from here, I am going to just move my mouse, and I can click on Gmail, and that's going to take me into my Gmail account, which is what we're going to do in a minute. And then I also have that Google Apps button that is going to, right from this Google splash screen, allow me to access the different applications that I have available here. So from here, I could go ahead and click on Google Drive, and that will take me into my Google Drive, where we should see the Hello Friends slide. Or I can scroll down and I can access Classroom right from here. Now, the way that we did it in the PC is that we went to our Gmail first, and then we linked out to our other applications. And so that's the way that we're going to do it here as well. So I'm going to click on Gmail first. That is going to take me into my Gmail account, just like it did before. And I think that this procedure, now I have 3 additional emails. I think that the procedure of getting into your Gmail first and then from Gmail linking out to your Drive or to your Classroom is a really good practice to get into, because if I need something specific from a student or from somebody, I'm going to email them individually. I'm not going to post that publicly into my Classroom. So if you get into your Gmail and just make sure that you're not missing any kind of communication from anybody, that's going to make your life a lot easier. So then from here, I'm going to go to the upper right-hand corner into the waffle or the Google Apps, and then I'm going to find Drive, and that is going to load up a separate tab. So I still have my Gmail tab across the top, and then in a separate tab I have my Google Drive, okay? And there is the slide that says Hello Friends, okay? Very easy. So I go back to my Gmail, back into Apps, and then I'm going to scroll down, and here's Classroom. So I'm going to click on that. That's going to open another tab up across the top, and there is the Google is Awesome Classroom. And it is as easy as that. You just have to make sure that you know your credentials to log into your account. And welcome to my phone. Okay, so I have a Samsung Note 9, which is an Android operating system phone, and I can access everything that we have looked at so far right here from my phone. And how I have done that is by going to my Google Play Store, and in the search, I can just type Google Drive, search that. That is going to bring up the Google Drive app, and I already have this installed, so that's why it says open, but it normally would say install. And then I would do the same thing for Google Classroom. Okay. And then I would install these individual apps. So if you want to be able to utilize Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets, those have individual apps as well. But since we're looking at Drive and Classroom today, that's what we're going to focus on. So you go into your Play Store, you download the app, and then once you open the app, you are going to have to log in with your credentials. Okay, so let me go ahead and move back to my home screen, and I am going to write on my screen, and hopefully you guys will be able to see. Let me do a different color. How about red? Here is my Google Classroom app, and then right next to that is my Google Drive app. Okay. So let's go ahead and click on Drive first. So when I open up Drive, I actually am logged in with my school account. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the profile picture, and then I'm going to click on the correct account that I want to get into. And it is actually opening me up to the starred files, and it says I have no starred files, which is true because I haven't starred any of the files. So I'm going to click on Home, and here is that slide. All right, so I can see that it's a Google slide, and it's called Training Hello, and I can see the Hello Friends. So that's the same exact slide as we've been seeing on the PC and on the Chromebook so far. Okay, so that's Google Drive, and then I'm going to hit Home again, and then I'm going to click on the Classroom. And right now I am logged in, I don't know why that's there. I'm logged in on my other Gmail account, and I want the Wolf Ranch Girl Gmail account. So again, I just clicked on my profile photo, and then it brings all of my other accounts down. And now I am logged in as Wolf Ranch Girl, and I can see here is my Google is Awesome Classroom. So I'll go ahead and click on this and open it because it does look just a little bit different from a phone than it does from either a PC or a Chromebook. So I have the header up at the top, and then my stream is here where it says share with your class. And this is again like the Facebook news feed. Then down at the bottom, I have the option to click on classwork and then also to click on people, whereas these items were up at the top of the screen when we were looking at it on the other devices. And so when I'm finished with whatever I'm doing, I just hit home, and that takes me back out to my home screen of my device, and it is as easy as that. So now we're going to move on and look at how to access Classroom and Drive from my Kindle Fire tablet. Okay guys, and I'm back. So now what we are looking at is the screen of my Amazon Kindle Fire. So this is a tablet that is from Amazon, and it is a little bit different because it runs the Fire operating system. So it is not Android, it's not a Google-based system, so I do not have all of the apps available to me here that I would have on my phone or on my computer. So what I have to do is from this screen, I'm going to have to access the internet browser that the Fire operating system offers, which is called Silk. So I'm going to click on my Silk app, and this is already obviously accessing my home Wi-Fi network. And because I generally search on Google, it is already showing me google.com. Hopefully you guys can see that there up in the address bar. So this is a little bit different. I don't know if I can zoom out or in. Okay, so over in the side, I'm going to have to click on sign in. And then again, you can see that I have my 3 different accounts. I've got my aprilw@gmail.com, my South Fork Schools, and then my wolfranchgirl@gmail.com. And we're going to go ahead and continue to use the Wolf Ranch Girl. And I am going to stop this and put in my password, which you guys don't need to know. Okay, so now I am logged in. I know that I'm logged in because up in the corner it says sign out instead of sign in. So this is going to work just a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is click up in the address bar, and then I'm going to type, first we're going to access our Gmail, and then we'll do our Drive, and then we'll do our Classroom. So I'm just going to type Gmail in the search bar and hit enter. That is going to bring up this is using Bing as a search engine, so it's going to bring up Gmail. I'm going to click on Inbox. And that is actually going to take me right to my Gmail account. And I know that it's mine because when I click on the arrows here, it shows me wolfranchgirl@gmail.com. Okay, so I can click on primary, and then here are my emails, and then this is the contents of the email. So if I want to get to Drive, then in the address, I can just type drive.google.com and press enter. And again, because I'm logged in with my Wolf Ranch Girl account, I can see there is my file, the training hello slide with the hello friends. Okay, and then again, I can go to Classroom I open up another tab, and I can just type in classroom.google.com and press enter. And then that is going to bring up in a third tab across the top my Google Classroom, and there is the Google is Awesome. And since we are looking at this in a little bit of a different device, again, I'll go ahead and open up the Classroom, and you can see that the banner all looks the same. I still have my news feed across the bottom here, and then I've got my classwork tab across the top, my people tab, and then because this is my classroom, I have a grades option. Okay, so I hope that you guys found that to be very useful. So the other question that you might have is, well, how do I find out what my student's account is? So you're going to need to contact your school. Different schools might have different policies. So since I'm not making this video for a specific school district, you're just going to have to find out through your student's teacher or through your student's school how that works. Anybody else that has a generalized Gmail account, or you know what your username and passwords are, which everybody should, then you're going to access them just the way that I took you through. Now, a good rule of thumb and something that I tell my students to do all the time is to put your passwords into your phone. Create a contact in your phone, because you know everybody has their phones. So create a contact, maybe put your own name in it, maybe put school login, whatever. Create a contact in your phone and then put in your username and put in your password. That way, if you can't remember what it is, you just know that you have it as a contact in your phone. You can look it up and be able to log in on whatever device that you happen to be in. So you guys, I hope that this video makes life a little bit easier for you. I know this is a crazy time right now. Life is crazy in general, but it's really crazy right now. I hope that you think that Google is as awesome as I think it is, because we can access our files from across so many different devices. So again, I hope that you found this useful. I hope that this will make your life easier as a teacher, as a parent, and as a student. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more in this series, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to get notified of when a new video posts, go ahead and click on that bell notification. I will post as many links and as many references as I can in the show notes or the description below the video. So please go ahead and check those out. And then if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to try and help you figure things out. You can leave those in the comments, or you can email me at wolfranchgirl@gmail.com. So I hope that you guys have a great day. I hope that you found this positive and productive and that helps you to navigate this crazy life. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you later.